After one failed marriage and a broken relationship, R&B singer Ne-Yo decided it was time to stay true to himself. The Grammy Award-winning artist didn't think he was built for monogamy. But that all changed when he laid eyes on model Crystal Renay. Here's the real reason Ne-Yo decided to leave his bachelor lifestyle behind in favor of being a one-woman man. At the age of 19, Ne-Yo briefly got married, but just a few months later his marriage fell apart. His new wife wanted him to choose between her and his music career. Ne-Yo told TMZ, "Music is honestly the only thing I've ever loved, so I chose this over her. Now I'm here and I don't know where she is." His next significant relationship began in 2009 when he met Monyetta at a Jamie Foxx concert in Louisiana. They had some mutual friends, so Ne-Yo was able to get in contact with her. He invited her to hang out on his tour bus. He wasn't sure if she was down with getting intimate with him right away, but to his surprise, he said Monyetta was very laid back. They began chatting like they were old friends. For a while, things between them were strictly platonic, but slowly the foundation of their friendship turned into something more. Monyetta told the New York Post Ne-Yo asked her out several times before she finally said yes. And when they started to date, she fell for him quickly. 1 year later, they found out they were expecting a child. Monyetta told the New York Post her pregnancy wasn't a complete surprise since they weren't using any protection. But they knew instantly that their child was a gift from God. In November 2010, they welcomed their daughter, Madeline Grace. And that same month, they jetted off to the Dominican Republic to help the rapper Fabulous celebrate his birthday. While all of the party guests were hanging out in Ne-Yo and Monyetta's hotel suite, Ne-Yo grabbed her hand and dropped down on one knee. While incorporating some of the lyrics from the song Make Me Better, he pulled out a 10-carat diamond ring and asked Monyetta to be his wife. And of course, she said yes. In 2011, Monyetta and Ne-Yo announced they were pregnant with baby number 2. It should have been another joyous moment in their lives, but Monyetta told the New York Post Ne-Yo wasn't around as much during her pregnancy. While she was at their home in Atlanta, he was spending most of his time working in Los Angeles. Monyetta claims she told Ne-Yo that she wanted to move to Los Angeles so they could all be together as a family, but the singer was adamant that their children grow up in Atlanta. Monyetta had to settle for visiting him in LA whenever she could, but as her pregnancy progressed, she was unable to travel. As the parents of a little girl and with their baby boy on the way, Ne-Yo was convinced their family was complete. Monyetta said they discussed sterilization thoroughly in the months leading up to their son's delivery. Ne-Yo also agreed to undergo a vasectomy as a sign they were mutually committed to their relationship. When she gave birth to their son Mason in October 2011, Ne-Yo was there for the birth and even gave Monyetta a high five in the delivery room. Before the doctors finished up in the delivery room, Monyetta told them, "I want you to burn my fallopian tubes." The doctor must have asked at least 8 times if that was what they really wanted to do, and each time they both replied yes. She told the New York Post that afterward she assumed Ne-Yo had followed through and had gotten a vasectomy. However, she was too busy caring for their children to confirm. She said, "I trusted him so much that it never even crossed my mind that he hadn't gone through with it." Monyetta was also busy putting the final touches on their August 2013 nuptials. It was going to be a destination wedding, and Monyetta had already visited the place to make sure it would be perfect for their special day. Then, 2 months before their wedding, Ne-Yo called her and allegedly told her, "I don't want to be monogamous anymore." A week later, they had a face-to-face conversation. Monyetta said she tried to work things out with him, but Ne-Yo wasn't changing his mind. Shortly after their split, they were both in Los Angeles for the weekend. Monyetta was with her friends, and Ne-Yo was out there for business. He texted her that he was going to announce their breakup online. Monyetta told Essence that his post made it clear they were over for good. It wasn't long before VH1 producers contacted Monyetta and asked if she'd be interested in joining their new reality series entitled Atlanta Exes. Ne-Yo was spending a lot of time out on the road, but during an appearance on The Real, Monyetta revealed they still lived together in the same home in Atlanta for almost a year after they broke up. In May 2014, Ne-Yo appeared on The Breakfast Club and said he still wasn't ready to be in a committed relationship. He said he had a lot of maturing to do, but he knew one day he would be ready to tie the knot. As for his failed relationship with Monyetta, he said cheating didn't play a role in their breakup. But he did say, "I realized I had a problem, and I have too much respect for the person I was with to continue lying to her face." Ne-Yo took some time to reflect on his past relationships, and he started to notice a pattern. He told Vibe magazine that almost all of his long-term relationships had been back-to-back. He said, "I never gave myself time to be single. I never gave myself time to figure out who the hell I am." So even though he still technically lived with Monyetta, he took a full year off from dating and decided to be a single man. He told Vibe he was, quote, "doing all the sick and disgusting things that single men do. I'm not proud of a lot of it, but everything was about to change." A year and a half after he ended his relationship with Monyetta, he was casting video vixens to appear in a short film associated with his album entitled Nonfiction. He met with a woman named Crystal Renay at a restaurant and asked her to read some lines. Crystal showed up 2 hours late, which bothered Ne-Yo at first. But when she sat down and they started talking, they hit it off right away. After a couple of hours of chatting, Ne-Yo told People magazine their conversation turned from business to personal. Ne-Yo told WBLS 1075 he wasn't trying to settle down, but it was Crystal who swept him off his feet. Even though he couldn't put his finger on exactly what Crystal did to make him embrace monogamy, whatever she did worked. He told Vibe magazine he decided he was going to go all in. 2 weeks after they met, they went on their first date. They opened up and shared every detail about their lives, including their worst moments and what they wanted in the future. He told her, "I know I can tolerate the loveliness of your hair and your smile and eyes. I want to know if I can handle the stuff about you that I might not like." They began dating, and Ne-Yo told People magazine, "It's pretty much been bliss ever since then." He said he knew right away Crystal was the one. There was just something different about her. When Ne-Yo released the music video for the song Money Can't Buy, featuring Crystal as the video vixen, Monyetta realized he had moved on. She said her whole world came crashing down all over again. Monyetta told the New York Post, "I had tried to understand that he didn't want to be monogamous, but then he went and found a different woman whom he was ready to be monogamous with." In January 2015, after celebrating the release of his new album, Ne-Yo and Crystal headed back to their hotel. Ne-Yo told Crystal, "I love you, I can't live without you." And Crystal responded, "Well, why don't you marry me then?" Ne-Yo didn't have a ring, and Crystal told him she's not the type of girl that needs a ring to get engaged anyway. So Ne-Yo got down on his knees and proposed. They began planning their wedding, and the day Crystal went to her first fitting, she found out she was pregnant. They got married in February 2016 at a venue overlooking the Pacific Ocean. Sadly, there were 2 guests who were unable to make it. Ne-Yo's son and daughter he shares with Monyetta. He told WBLS 1075 his kids had an orientation meeting at one of the top schools in Atlanta and they couldn't miss it. But he mentioned that he and Crystal might renew their vows one day, and he would love to have his 2 eldest children involved. 3 weeks after tying the knot, Crystal gave birth to their son, Schaefer Jr. They welcomed a second son, Roman, in June 2018. Since meeting Ne-Yo, Crystal's life has done a complete 180. She told the Daily Mail she grew up in Florida and never had a lot of money, but now she's living in the lap of luxury. She gets to travel the world with her husband and experience things most people can only dream of. Ne-Yo also spent $1.9 million on a home in Sherman Oaks, California, which Crystal described as her dream home. Although she's enjoying her new lifestyle, she loves spending time at home with Ne-Yo and their children. And instead of going out to fancy restaurants, she'd much rather pick up fresh ingredients from the farmer's market and cook her family an entire meal from scratch. Ne-Yo can't get enough of his queen either. In September 2018, he took her to the Bahamas to celebrate her birthday. In an Instagram post, he wrote, "You make me happy in a way that few could ever truly understand. I don't fault those that don't get it. I also don't concern myself with whether or not they do. All I hear, all I see is you." Let us know your thoughts on Ne-Yo and Crystal's love story, and thanks for watching Real Reality Gossip.